You are literally Ryan Gosling. Seriously, you're like a character from a Ryan Gosling movie. I think practically everyone who watched Drive with Ryan Gosling, Bladerunner with Ryan Gosling, or practically any movie with Ryan Gosling has had this thought: that's me! And believe me, your feeling wasn't wrong. Almost every self-respecting man has had that idea at least once. Millions of memes like Ryan Gosling in the movie Drive is literally me, I mean literally me. And it's not for nothing. And now I'll explain why you really are like Ryan Gosling from the movie Drive or any of his other films. Well, as long as it's not from the movie Lars and the Real Girl, where he plays a guy who can't communicate with people and imagines that a doll is his girlfriend. Well, who am I kidding? That's literally me as well. Why did the movie Drive become so popular? After all, when it was released, it didn't make much money and only gained cult status after some time. How did it become so popular? You might say memes? Yes, you'd be right almost 100%. It's all about the memes. And these memes mostly look like this. A moment from the movie is shown, of course with Ryan Gosling on the screen, and the caption says, "Ryan Gosling is literally me in this moment." But why is this so popular? Why am I, or you, or we are Ryan Gosling? I think we all know that Ryan Gosling often plays silent characters. He doesn't talk much, but does a lot in his movies. Drive, plays Beyond the Pines, Bladerunner. What unites all these films is not only their high quality, but also the fact that in each of them, Ryan probably says fewer words than I do in this video. And believe me, it's not by chance, and the creators of these films deliberately made Ryan's characters so silent in these works. Drive, the story of a man whose name we don't even know, but we do know that he's a mega cool driver, a silent man who always wears a face as if he doesn't care about anything, and it looks cool. The only moment when he does care is when it comes to his neighbor Irene, plays Beyond the Pines. Here, Ryan Gosling is not driving a car, but a motorcycle, but he's still a silent character, and it still looks cool. You know, it's like when you go to friends' gatherings and you just stay silent all evening, hoping everyone will think you are as mysterious as Ryan Gosling, but in reality you just don't know what to say. And people don't even pay attention to you. But with Ryan Gosling's characters, it works, and it looks really cool. Bladerunner 2049. And what's up here? Ryan Gosling is once again a silent character who does his job and is also in love with a girl, who is just a hologram. I don't know if Ryan Gosling has it in his script requirement that his character must be silent, but it often comes out that way. In general, we can say that Ryan Gosling in all these movies is a lone wolf who lives by the principle of "I don't really want to interact with other people, and please, don't interact with me either." But at the same time, he's not an antisocial person who's afraid to go outside. He just doesn't enjoy the company of others. He lives his life and pursues his goals on his own, without needing to engage with other people. In short, he's kind of like a Sigma male. And partly, of course, the memes are built on this idea that, look, I also hate interacting with people, just like Ryan Gosling in these movies, so it's literally me. But if you remove these jokes or take them seriously, you'll find that many people see something more in these characters than just jokes. People want to see themselves in these characters. Most of the time everyone is alone with themselves, and alone with ourselves. We are very different than when we are with friends or just going out. The essence of Ryan Gosling's characters in these movies is that their core remains the same regardless of their surroundings. They just know what they want, and get it in the only way they know how, through action. This resonates with viewers because characters like Driver, Luke or Agent K are sincere characters who don't conform to their environment, and subconsciously everyone loves that because nobody wants to put on a mask every time you need to. I believe that characters like this are necessary because they resemble the viewer but also represent an idealized version of the viewer. They serve as a reference point because everyone needs to understand that they are not alone in feeling the way they do. And it's okay to have direction in life. In these characters, it becomes evident that they don't shy away from their asocial tendencies. When people experience the situation described in the memes, they connect with a character who shares similar feelings and problems. This sense of community provides comfort, reducing the feeling of isolation. This creates a unique viewing experience for such films. Moreover, while looking at the flaws of such characters, anyone who associates with them can reflect on and analyze their own shortcomings. They can also realize that there are no perfect people and stop being overly critical of themselves. It's like saying, even Ryan Gosling's characters has flaws, so it's okay for me to have them too. All the characters with whom people create memes like "it's literally me" are stoic individuals who, despite everything, go through the trials that appear in their lives. Well, or the trials given to them by the scriptwriter, but this provides motivation and comfort for the viewer, showing that there are no impossible things, and even down-to-earth characters who resemble us can overcome their challenges. As a result, the viewer can overcome their own challenges. It's easier for the audience to relate to Ryan Gosling in the movie Drive, for example, than to someone like Superman. After all, Superman also faces difficulties, but he solves them using superpowers and abilities that regular people don't have. But Ryan Gosling just takes a toothpick, gets in his car, and drives. The viewer associates themselves with this character and transfers that feeling of coolness into their own life. This adds confidence and has a positive impact on the viewer. The stories of these films are about loners who are truly vulnerable in only two moments: when it comes to their loved ones and when they can't stand seeing the weak mistreated. This contrast with seemingly tough, silent characters who are actually sensitive and vulnerable is what works. Their true emotions hide behind a facade of impressiveness and drown in their silence. Even if a person in real life is extremely sociable and extroverted, when they become home, they change their mask and become calm introverts. They become Ryan Gosling. So it doesn't matter whether you're reserved, modest, and introverted, or the opposite. Everyone can relate themselves with Ryan Gosling in the movie Drive, Bladerunner, or Place Beyond the Pines. Each of these characters will seem relatable in terms of personality, and by watching the screen, everyone can see themselves. In addition to excellent direction, atmosphere, soundtrack, and many other aspects that make the films great, this is what makes these movies appealing. These are stories about loners who have to live in a world of people who don't understand them. And they don't understand people either, and they don't need to. In the end, everyone can associate themselves with such characters from literally me memes. And everyone benefits. The creators of the film benefit because their work become more popular and more discussed. The viewer gets a character who gives them chill. These characters are not all powerful, so when viewers see them, they think, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Such grounded characters give people a sense of being understood, the realization that there are others who are not extroverted machines. But at the same time, these characters represent something even in a world that is based on social interactions. These characters are easier to connect with, empathize with, and ultimately allowing viewers to say, I am literally Ryan Gosling in the movie Drive.